Hey everybody, what's going on? Jumping in for one of my annual videos, plans and goals for 2015, as well as we'll reflect upon 2014 as well. First note of interest, I want to get it out of the way. One of my goals, something I've been working on, looking for since I started the channel, would be collaborations. 2011, 2012, and 2013 was fucking dry on finding people to collaborate with. 2014 was rather interesting. And as I'm going to get into it, I'm also going to include shoutouts as well. So I'm going to include links to their channels and other social media websites in the links in the description. So going in chronological order of who I worked with, was featured on the GMG podcast over on my dude XChaseMoney's channel. Worked a couple times with my dude KingStriker, a couple games. And then I was also featured on a podcast over on BShadows channel as well. While I'm doing shoutouts, I would suggest to check out my dude Fourth Quarter Closah's channel. He just started it. He got off to a good start. Looks like good things are going to be happening over there, so I'd suggest to check that out as well. Getting into plans for 2015, I definitely want to find something more regular. At least once a month would be awesome. More often than that, even better. So let's see how that turns out as well, right? One of my goals for 2014 was to create more vlogs. Now, I did make note of that I probably wouldn't be able to stick to that goal. I was not able to stick to that goal. So that's really not any surprise that I was not able to do that. I did create 2 or 3 vlogs. I was not happy with them at all. So I ended up not publishing them, and I don't plan to publish them at all either. So as far as 2015 goes, unless things do drastically change, I would hope that they do drastically change. Otherwise, I can't say to expect me to see me create more vlogs any more regularly than I already do. One of my goals was to get more into RPGs. I think I did alright with that. I might have gotten a little carried away with Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Got 210-something videos of that. Exceeded my previous highest count of like a 120-something or 140-something of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. It's not very often that I thoroughly enjoy a game that much. I would like to exceed that number one day. I don't think that'll happen any sooner than another year or two, which is just fine with me. Now, as far as 2015 goes, if I play just as many RPGs as I did in 2014, that's fine. No big deal. More importantly, though, I would really like to stay on top of new current releases. Unless the earnings pick up or something changes where I can get newer consoles or a PC, I don't see that happening. However, I do have more than enough older games to stay busy with until I can get around to that. Moving on to another goal was to read more books in 2014. When I started college in 2006, it's mandatory to read and study a lot of dry, boring text, books, and stuff. And, it wasn't very fun to read outside of what was required reading in college anyway. So the goal was at least 12 books, so that'd be a good 1 book a month. I was able to accomplish that goal. I'm pretty satisfied with it. It was mostly a lot of non-fiction rather than fiction. Everything was, for the most part, high-quality reads. Highly recommended what I did read through. While it was also not really a plan or goal, it just sort of happened while I was waiting for either books to be delivered or when I was not able to get out to the library often as I would have liked to. I did get quite carried away in reading comic books. I did read a little bit I did read and got caught up on The Walking Dead in 2013, and then I continued that in 2014. wide assortment of comics. Quite happy with what I read. I also did get into reading manga for the first time as well, so that's pretty cool. And moving forward, as far as Plans and Goals in 2015, I'd be happy if I was able to read at least the same amount of books as I did in 2014, as well as I'd like to continue the trend of consciously and actively seeking out both books and comics that are written by the non-white male. It also seems like I might have to venture into webcomics to find that too. So I'd suppose I want to read more webcomics as well. Now, if you're interested in what I've been reading, I regularly update my Goodreads, or you could check out my Pinterest board as I regularly update those as I'm reading stuff, and maybe you'll find something of interest as well. Now, while it's not really a plan or goal I'm including here, it's something I'd like to keep in mind and work towards at some point, is that I'd like to introduce the topic pieces and discussions of books and comics as well. Now, as I mentioned about vlogs, where it's difficult to get into it, if the opportunity arises and I can get more into it, I definitely like to bring that element to the channel as well. However, like I said, I don't see that happening anytime soon, but it'd be cool to see that happen eventually. Along with my interest of books and comics, something that didn't make the cut from my 2014 Plans and Goals video came to mind weeks after recording and uploading that video, was to get more into women singers and songwriters. I'm happy with the assortment that I got into, a mix of both older and newer. Going into 2015, I'd like to continue that trend, as well as get more into international musics, more than I already do. I've been kind of slacking for the past couple of years, so I'd like to continue to check out more different music moving forward as well. Alright, as far as overall YouTube endeavors goes, I'd also like to get into using my secondary channel, MF Command, a bit more. I've kind of slacked off and it hasn't gotten much love in the past year. Without getting too much of the history of the channel, which I kind of will anyway, I created it because I was having issues with Machinima when I joined my main channel. So about a month or two after that, those issues with Machinima were resolved for the most part. And then I began getting a shit ton of more content ID matches, way more than I do on my main channel. So that's another deterrent as well. And at some point, I would have liked to have made that my main channel. Mostly because I like how MF Command rolls off the tongue a lot more than a mouthful of just for the funk of it does. And if I had the possibility to, I would change my main channel's URL without a moment of hesitation, even if I could only change it to the acronym I use of J4TFOI. So will I be able to stick to that plan? I don't know. I'm thinking it's best to join that to a network. So I guess we'll see how that goes, right? For the most part, I covered majority of reflecting upon 2014 and getting into 2015 plans and goals. One thing I'm not going to get into in here, however, I've spoke about it quite frequently in my own while recording games. I just hope what I was hoping would have been resolved and that I didn't plan for nothing less than to be resolved and taken care of this year didn't happen. Faced more setbacks than I was looking forward to. So I can really only hope 2015 changes and improves for the better. Now that I got reflections of 2014 out of the way, and good plans and goals for 2015 out of the way, I do want to make note of a few things. I created a voiceover demo a few months ago. I'd like to give a try to get into voice acting. I'm going to include a link to that video in the description. Feel free to check it out. Should you have any ideas or could make use of some voices, or you do know somebody that does, get at me and let's make something happen right away. Another point I want to make note of was where I am always mentioning that I don't have the money or I'm short on earnings that I could use for investing, improving, and bringing better content to the channel as much as I would like to. I found I have the option to accept donations through YouTube. I didn't see the option, or I don't have access to embed a link into the videos. So should you feel like donating, you can visit and find the link on my main channel page. You could also donate through PayPal, and you could purchase items off of my Amazon wish list. Now, I usually don't like accepting things without returning the favor, so I would suggest, if you are feeling generous, to reach out to me, and I'm sure we could work out something that is beneficial to the both of us. Any donations or contributions are much appreciated. Along with all of that, I am always open to advertising and sponsorship opportunities as well. So get at me and let's make something happen today. As a final note, I wanted to point out I am sharing my favorite top 2014 favorites lists of games, music, books, and comics over on my Facebook and Tumblr. Should you feel interested to see what I've been getting into for this year, you can find the links to those sites in the description. Fucking shit took us long enough to get through all that. Now, what are your plans, goals, and aspirations for 2015? Let me know in the comments below. Let's see to it that it's much better than 2014. Hope you continue to ride with me into 2015 and beyond. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. It's always much appreciated, and I'll see you soon.